Hello guys, Monster here. Welcome back to the channel. And today I'm going to talk to you guys about why you should trade in your PS5 or Xbox Series X for a gaming PC. Now, obviously this is not going to be the case for everybody. Not everybody's going to have opportunities like these. But recently I came across a really good deal in my market. I was able to trade my digital PS5 with two controllers and a couple of games that I let on I kept on the PS5. I put my account as primary and I changed my password and I allowed the person to keep those games. And I was able to receive a computer with a Ryzen 5600G and an AMD Radeon RX 6600, which is a really good graphics card. In comparison, it's like a 3050 Ti or a 2060 Super. It's a really good card and a really good PC. It also has a 1 terabyte NVMe. It has a really good motherboard. Has a B550, I believe. Um, it's a really modern computer, which is really surprising. It has an NZXT case, and it just has me thinking like, if somebody has the opportunity to do this, go for it. Definitely, there's more pros than cons to playing on PC. And today, this video is pretty much going to cover all of that. I'm going to put a graph on the video right now where you guys can see the pros and cons, and that should help you even more when it comes to deciding if this is something that you would do or not. Now let's start here with the pros. Now with the PC that I obtained, I get more performance. Now this is obviously going to vary depending on what you could find in your market, but in all honesty, if you go all used, you should be able to build a PC similar to the one I obtained for about the same price as a PS5. Now 6600 is better than the GPU on the PS5. It has been proven by Digital Foundry that the 2060 Super is on par with the PS5 GPU, and the 6600 is better than the 2060 Super in a lot of games. So indeed, I am obtaining more performance, as well as more performance in titles, and also like Fortnite and games like that, where I'm able to turn down some settings to get higher frames, to get more performance, which will allow me to play better and more fluently in my games. So indeed, you do get more performance on a PC. Now, another thing is that PS5 exclusives and also Xbox exclusives are coming to PC. Now, with the PlayStation exclusives, they do take a little longer, like a year or two, but you still will get them. And on Xbox is day one, day to day with PC and Xbox. And if you subscribe to Game Pass, you obviously get them for free, technically, parenthetically, because you are paying for Game Pass, but you get them day and date with Xbox players. So in reality, owning an Xbox doesn't make sense to me personally, but even coming from the PS5 to PC, you are able to still play those exclusives a year or two after. And honestly, that's one of the big selling points from PlayStation. Now, if you want to play them day one, obviously you that's why a lot of people have a PC PS5 combo. But if you could only have one or the other, I believe the PC makes more sense for everything else that you get with it, as well as the exclusives are coming at some point anyway. Now, point number three, or pro number three, you have an upgrade path with the PC. So with the PC that I have a 6600 and a 5600G. If I wanted to, I could get a 5800X 3D, which outperforms the PS5 CPU by a landslide. And then I could go with something like a 4070 Ti or 4080, and boom, I have something that will destroy, annihilate the PS5, right? I could do that. And obviously, with the PS5, you're locked. That's all you have. You just have whatever it's there. You can't do anything with it. You can upgrade it. The only thing you can upgrade is the storage, and that's it. So definitely, that's a big pro for PC. You're not stuck with the same hardware forever. You can just swap out parts and you can improve your PC. And obviously, it's your storage will be there. Everything else will be there still, and you can swap out parts and just upgrade it. And you don't have to upgrade it today. Like many people will say, "Oh, a 4080 is what, 900, $1,000, whatever." You could wait until the 5080 comes out. The 4080 will go down in price. You could snag one, and you don't have to get a 4080. You could get a 4060, which will still be better than the PS5. And you could get one again when the 5060 comes out, or whenever those cards come out. Get them for cheaper, and you will have a better PS5. And I'm sure those cards will come out with the PS5 life cycle will still be around, so you will get a better system than the PS5 even then. So yes, I think in terms of upgrade path, it's not even close. Next up is productivity. What I mean by productivity is things like being able to edit videos, pictures, and things like Photoshop, Vegas, Adobe Premiere Pro, things of that nature. And also being able to do schoolwork, like write essays, uh, do Excel spreadsheets. If you're a computer scientist, being able to work in Java, being able to edit um, a lot of different videos that you might have to do for class. Also being able to work with Python, C++, C Sharp. All those things are in a computer. If obviously if you're a college student, this will really benefit you, as you could have a work slash school station and a gaming device all in one. Whereas if you have a PS5, that's it. It's just a PS5 and nothing else. So yes, in terms of productivity, it's not even close by a landslide. It's just so much that could be done on a computer, from 3D printing. Uh, like designing for 3D printing, rendering 3D renders. There's just so much that you could do, and it's the PS5 is just really limited because it's just a gaming machine and it's limited by software. Now the next thing is crossplay. Now because of crossplay, the point that people used to use back in the day where, oh, choose where your friends go, it's no longer valid. Now games like Call of Duty, Fortnite, Apex Legends all have crossplay, so you could play with your friends no matter what console you use, no matter what gaming device you play on. So it doesn't matter. And so when it comes to playing with friends, unless you're playing like sports games, it doesn't really matter. You could play from anywhere with your friends nowadays. So that point of, oh, choose whatever your friends play on is no longer valid. Therefore, a PC all the way should be no problem when it comes to playing with friends. Next up is the fact that people are willing to trade. Like I said, I got a PC, really good PC for my digital PS5. Now, it's not as much now as it was whenever I first traded it. This video idea has been on my notes for a long time now, and I just never uploaded it. But people are still willing to trade now because some people have a PC and they just don't know what to do with it. They don't know how to operate it well. They don't know. They don't know. They just get bored with it, and they have a console. They plug it up to the TV. They feel like more comfortable playing on a bigger TV. They don't like monitors. PCs are not for everyone. Let's just say that. Some people just want to be casual gamers. Turn on the remote, turn on the TV, play for a couple hours, and be done with it. They don't want to have to sit on a chair, in front of a monitor and deal with all this extra stuff, right? So there are always people that are going to be willing to trade their consoles for their gaming PC, are willing to trade a console for their gaming PC because they just simply don't like computers. Now, this only applies in some markets, but in some markets, PS5s are still not available. So people want to get their hands on one, they would do anything that they can to get one. Now, this is again not in all markets. A lot of markets, actually, especially in North America, are now abundant with PS5s, but some still are not, and people just want one. The last pro is that there are no paywalls. You don't have to pay for PlayStation Plus or Xbox Live Gold. All you have to do is simply buy the game, and you can play online no matter what you do. No matter like what game it is, no matter what publisher makes it, you're always able to play online no matter what. And that's one really big pro about PC. You don't have There's no paywalls. You buy the game and that's it. You don't have to subscribe to Plus or Xbox Live. You can subscribe to Game Pass and you get a lot of games, a big catalog from right away, and you also get EA games. But that's optional, and that's not optional on consoles if you want to play online, which is a big deal. Now, there's only four cons that I could think about. Here they are. I'm just gonna say them in the same breath. I'm not gonna take too long. Number one is there's no 2K on the PC. They're still running the PS4 version of NBA 2K. If you're a big 2K fan, PC might not be for you. There's no day one exclusives from the PS5. Now you do get Xbox day one exclusives, but again, for PS5 games, you still have to wait a year or two to be able to play them. PS5 works great out of the box, and if it doesn't work, you can always just return it. And the PC, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes there's a component that might be broken, or so just PCs sometimes are weird. They just don't work all the time like they're supposed to. You have to do a lot of troubleshooting. If you're not too PC savvy, you might end up frustrated, and that's another reason why some people just trade their PCs. They just don't want to deal with it. Sometimes I have headaches for my PC. It won't turn on, and sometimes it's just swapping RAM sticks, and you don't want to deal with that. Then it might not be for you. Usually it works well though, and it could work for years. But sometimes there are like if you knock it down or whatever, you might run into some issues. And lastly, you can get scammed especially if you do a trade. You definitely can get scammed, and you definitely don't want to deal with that, right? It's definitely not fun, and it definitely can happen, especially if you're trading it. And even if you're buying used parts, you can still get scammed. Although, if you buy used parts from eBay, it's harder to get scammed. However, if you do what I did, if you perform a trade on Facebook Marketplace in person, and you get scammed out of a PS5. So that's a con. Obviously, it can happen to anyone, and it's definitely something to be aware of, and it's a warning. Like there's scammers out there, which is why if you watch YouTubers like Christopher Yee and people that do PC flipping, whenever they do encounter trades or anything like that, they usually try to go to like a Starbucks or any place where they could plug in the computer, test it with a monitor, and make sure everything runs well. That's something you could do to avoid getting scammed. But not everybody has that to their disposal in their town or wherever they live. So just take that for what it is. And well, guys, there you have it. There's my reasons why you should definitely get a PC. And if you're able to trade in your PS5 for one, it's just such a good device. It won't let you down. And you could definitely play games forever. You won't have to deal with games not being able to run on your stuff. There's people still with a freaking 1060 that are able to play Hogwarts Legacy, and that GPU came out during the PS4 era. PS4 is not going to get that game until like April. So there you have it. It's definitely a great experience to have a PC. There's just so much you can do, and if I would never go back. I had a PS5. It was just collecting dust, man. It's just PC all the way. PCMR. To the next one, guys. This was the one, sir, and I'm out. Peace.